This is an update on the 907x100C. Okay guys, I'm going to make a short video here on the Hasselblads. It's kind of a follow-up video from the last video I made about 3 weeks ago. So I'm just going to give you a small update. Now here we got the 907x100C right here, as you can see. There it is. Give you a little tour of it. Okay. And then back here is the 907x50C. Very similar, but there are some different differences. And I'll show you the label. There we go. And to compare price point and features, we got the Hasselblad X2D with lens. Now, here's what I noticed. I noticed that between this one, the 100 and the 50, they're very identical, almost. There are some differences. For example, the top plate here is a bit different. The 50C has chrome plate framing around the logo, while the 100C doesn't. And that's because you can take the top plate off to attach other accessories to it. And then the back, the buttons are laid out the buttons are a little bit different. I think there's better quality on the 100C. But what I found was interesting is that the 100C is 996 grams compared, no, sorry, 867 grams. The 50C is 997 grams. So the 100C is lighter by 120 some grams, which I thought was pretty interesting. Okay. And another thing I found out, that there's one or two lenses in the Hasselblad lineup that will not autofocus with this camera, such as this one, which is the 45 3.5. I don't know why. Maybe it needs a firmware update. Okay. Now, what I wanted to explain to you is that this camera here is $8,200 US. It could be more depending on where you live. Now, this is basically what you get, and probably a battery. By the time you put the lens on, I'll show you. Here we got a Hasselblad X2D, which is approximately the same price, the body. The lens alone is, you're looking at least $5,000. So you're looking at over $9 grand. If you want to add tax on it, even be more. So it's quite an investment. This will be the same. So just to let you know that, like I mentioned in the last video, be aware and make sure you got both eyes clearly open before you make a purchase. Remember, all three of these do not, I repeat, do not have video on it. Okay, number one. Number two, I noticed that this puppy here gets quite warm, just like the 50C used to get warm. The X2D does get warm, but not so bad. So take that into consideration, because this is a huge, huge investment. All right. Now, now that I used them, the picture quality, in comparison to the X2D is pretty close, but it could be different depending on the settings, of course. Now, the other thing I was going to mention was the fact that on this camera, it's, as you notice, has internal storage, 1 TB, and then has a CF Express card B. Now, you must do your research on certain CF Express card Bs might not work, certain brands, so take that into consideration, okay? And like I mentioned before, this dial here and this button here on the side all have to work together to do your settings. So it takes quite a bit of fair amount of dexterity, all right? And by the way, there's no IBIS on this either, but there is on this. So this one you can shoot clear down to 1/15th of a second. Now I'm not talking bad about it. It's just that you know, depends whatever turns you on, whatever turns you crank, and if that's what you want, that's fine. But for me, I got a bunch of these. In fact, got another one and another one, an 80th anniversary, but that's more of an investment. So anyway, hope you like this video. Hope it helps out. If you have any questions, let me know. And disclaimer is that, look, all I am is giving you my experience, and I'm not taking sides. So it's up to you. It's your dollar. All right? Just spend it wisely. All right? Thanks.